Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So these are just my initial thoughts of World of Tank Blitz for the Nintendo Switch. So yesterday, August 26th, we actually got that surprise Nintendo Direct that World of Tank Blitz would be coming onto the Nintendo Switch and it would be available to download after the Direct itself. It's a game I've always wanted to play, but I've never been into these huge online games, so these massive online multiplayers. It's something I've never really enjoyed too much. Now the game itself, it's 2.8 gig to download and it is a free to play game, but it does come with those microtransactions. So just bear in mind it is free to play, but you can end up spending some money on it if you want to. If you want extra skins or you want to download different tanks, you can pay for them. Something that really surprised me was just how quickly the game itself loaded. So obviously it is a mobile game, it's not the full version, so I wouldn't expect the load times to be that quick, but it was very fast. It found new games very quickly and it just loaded very quickly as well. Before you start to play the game, you go through a very basic tutorial, and when I say basic, it's very basic, very simple. It took me about 2 minutes to complete. It just goes over the basic controls and how the game plays. So it's very simple. There's a lot of vehicle options to choose from, and obviously the more that you play, the more that you unlock and the more you get to choose from. But again, like I say, if you don't want to play that much, you can still buy new tanks, new skins if you choose to. And then we just move on to the graphics. So I tried out 2 levels. One was set in a field, and you'll see later in the video I also played the level that was set in the desert. So graphically, not particularly challenging. There's obviously a lot of players on the screen at once, so there's quite a lot going on. But in terms of backgrounds, you know, it's a desert, it's a field, and a few rocks and walls. Not that challenging. So it actually looked okay. It's obviously not the greatest game in the world because it is a mobile game, but you know, it looked alright, and the Switch seemed to be able to handle it perfectly fine. Now, just some of my basic thoughts, my initial thoughts. I really tried to enjoy playing the game, and it wasn't a bad game, but the game felt incredibly slow. The gameplay itself, the movement of the tanks, the firing, it just felt awkward and slow. It just seemed to take forever to kind of travel, even just moving very little across the field, the desert. It just seemed to go on for ages. It was very slow, and it just made it difficult to enjoy playing because of how slow it was. Now, I'm normally used to playing games like Splatoon, which is obviously a very fast-paced game. So it might be that I'm used to playing those games, that Splatoon, things like that, that made me feel like this game was just incredibly slow. But I don't want to be too critical because it's a free game, it is a mobile game, it's not the full version. You're not going to lose out too much by downloading it, but I would say initial thoughts were just be prepared for slower gameplay. If you're used to fast-paced kind of Nintendo games, then just be prepared that this is much slower. I'm going to do a more in-depth review. I'm going to carry on playing for a few more hours, a few more weeks, do a much more in-depth review. But those are just my initial thoughts to begin with after a few hours of gameplay. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks a lot for watching and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks a lot everyone. Take care.